Alrighty, so this is a Colemak learning check-in video, basically, where I just kind of take a look at my progress so far. So let's go ahead and jump over to my profile just to look at some stats. So total time is 12.5 hours. Some portion of that is deliberate practice. A lot of that is watching videos and typing on the side. My average speed all time is 27.5 words per minute. And maybe at the end I will do a rant about using keybr to learn keys. No, we're doing it now. We're doing it now. Okay, so here's the thing, right? My top speed is 56.2, and that was with 6 characters, I think. And what I wanted to do was be able to get up to 50 words per minute with each key before moving on. But I wasn't able to set the new keys value low enough for that. And so every time I hit 30 words per minute, that's what it would add a new key. Very surprised by this, that there's such a flipping that the curve is about 30 words per minute. That feels very low. For reference, I'm probably 80 to 90 words per minute with QWERTY. So here you can see kind of the history of keys added. What's quite interesting is, so like I said, it adds one every 30 every time you hit 30 words per minute, basically. What's quite interesting is that I picked up on the last few very quickly, probably from about B onwards. I picked up pretty quickly on how to learn them, but it was pretty rough in the middle. You can see the last one I really struggled with is this B, either B or P. Things got quite rough, but they often get rough when new keys are added. Yeah, and yeah. So I'm at the point now where incorporating, I've learned all the keys, and incorporating the last few was fairly straightforward. This graph is interesting. I don't know why number of keys ever goes down. I suppose it's number of keys seen in a lesson. That would make sense. So you can see my typing speed shot up pretty quickly and then shot down. So while number of keys was static, it shot up pretty quickly. And then as soon as we add new keys, my errors really starts to go up. Peaks over here, and then as we kind of keep adding a new key, my errors come down. I've found generally, especially in the middle, that focusing on accuracy was very helpful. Kind of not trying to type as fast, trying to think deliberately and make like less than 10 errors in a lesson. Found that very useful. And what I actually saw, this was about when kind of in the middle, when a lot of these letters were being added. And I would, once I'd kind of learned stuff, like I said, I was at about 30, 35 words per minute. When I was still learning, I was between 15 and 20, and then I would kind of slowly go up. So when I was at 20 to 25 words per minute, I would make a lot of errors, and what I found is that focusing quite deliberately on which keys to hit, I would make significantly fewer errors and still type around the same speed, which I found really interesting. So I definitely think that the key to deliberate practice here is focusing on making few errors, particularly when you're struggling to get your speed up. At the moment, I'm finding that my speed is increasing pretty naturally. You can see here, having more keys added didn't really massively impact my speed. I was jumping back up to 30 words per minute pretty quickly. So, I mean, I'm now at the point where I've learned all the keys, and what I want to do from here is really focus on improving and getting my words per minute up to 50 in the short term, 90 in the medium term, and then I'd love to get faster than my current QWERTY speed, go up to like probably 120 in the longer term. Pinguify hit 120 in about 3 months. That would be quite cool, but he was obviously doing it on stream as well, which is going to make it harder. Some helpful statistics here are kind of my errors per my missed hit ratio. You can see it's very high for H, quite high for B, quite high for W, relatively high for O as well. I mean, a lot of these are quite high. D and C, I would say, are keys I have trouble with. Let's just jump back to OBS and see. So D and C are, so C is here, it's over X, and D is over C. And I need to kind of move my finger down in what feels like a quite unnatural motion at the moment to hit them. And similarly with H, oh jeepers, you can't even see my flipping keyboard anymore. How's that? Okay, so H, where is H? H is over here. H is the angle bracket. H and M, is it? No, I don't think H is the angle bracket. So I think this is M, this would then be H. I don't know, whatever. One of these. Basically, I need to like move the finger down, and that's quite an unnatural feeling because I've never learned to touch type. So I'll do QWERTY in a second, and you'll see kind of how I type for QWERTY. For context, this is over about, what's this, 11 days. Yeah. So I would say it was about 10 days to hit most of the keys, and then I added the last 1 or 2 today in like these 16 minutes or whatever. So roughly an hour a day, and very often that hour a day would be taking a break, watching videos, or during a meeting as well. During meetings where I'm not saying a lot, that's a great opportunity to practice typing. Yeah, so that's kind of my progress so far with Colemak mod DH. One change I would like to make is I want to move backspace to the caps lock. I definitely find that the especially like the touch typing arrangement makes that caps lock is much more attractive than backspace, where I need to basically break my hand to hit backspace. Still need to relearn my keyboard shortcuts. Control X, Control C, and Control V. Will take a little bit of getting used to because C, X, and V is in the same place, but C and X have moved, so I'm sure that'll confuse my muscle memory a bit. Oh, Control Z will also be a tricky one because it's over at B now. This thing seems to kind of be falling. Let's see if we can fix that. Here's my nice unmade bed. We just woke up. Yeah, so overall impressions of Colemak mod DH, really enjoying it. Much less hard to learn than I expected, and I think particularly the fact that I have different hand layouts for QWERTY and Colemak might actually make it a bit easier to switch between them. So let's actually start typing now. I've just switched over to my QWERTY layout, and let's just choose QWERTY and say done. Oh, this isn't going to work. This isn't, let's just do 10 fast fingers. Does the window change? Yes, it does. Okay, great. Okay. Oh, jeepers, it might take a second to switch over, so I have just been practicing. Damn it, stay put, you bloody webcam. Okay, I'll check in every now and then. So I have just been practicing Colemak, so this might take me a second. No, it won't. Oh, a little bit. Country like they then want to write, watch, follow. Okay, so that's 82, 90% accuracy. It's probably actually not too great. It does definitely feel a little weird coming from Colemak, so let's just try one more. Damn it. Okay, 93. Yeah, I'd say kind of experientially 93 is probably around 90. Probably what I average. Certainly warm. So that's with QWERTY, but like you'll probably have seen, I have like a WAST kind of setup where I hold W, A, and D, and then J with my other hand. It's like very weird. It's basically because I learned to type playing games. So that's just kind of a benchmark of where I am with QWERTY, and I've been at that level for like years now. Never done any actual practice. Occasionally done a couple of like typing tests just to see how fast I was, but literally no deliberate practice. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at my Colemak speed at the moment. Okay, so that was 40.2, 11 errors, not terrible, and that's close to the fastest I've been with Colemak. With full, yeah, I think that might be my fastest speed with full Colemak, and that was literally just after switching from QWERTY, which is quite exciting. I'm hoping that I'll be able to stay kind of proficient in both. I've started missing L a lot, so J was the last letter I learned, and it's kind of next to L, and I've started missing L a lot as a result, so that's just something I need to work on. Okay, so 40 seems pretty consistent. Let's see what we get. Oh, bugger. I'm very much still getting used to, where's B now? So definitely the next 10 fast. The next challenge, I think I'm quite keen to try and start using Colemak for everything now. But let's see what kind of speed we get on 10 fast fingers, because as you may have noticed, we get very kind of similar words a lot of the time from keybr, so I think I would expect to be slower here. That's H. A big problem as well, I think I'm just going to let errors go through. Oh, bugger. This has gone poorly. Wow, 10 words per minute, solid. So massive problem there was the backspace key. Don't know how well you could see that. Like, I have no muscle memory for the backspace key whatsoever. So like, as soon as I made a mistake, it's like impossible to correct. Like, who does that? Okay, so I think what we're gonna do, it's probably decent for a check-in for now. Maybe let's do one more of these, and just see if anything changes. I don't think anything will. Damn it. Damn it. Oh man. Interesting. Okay, so backspace is a thing. I really think there's also something about, I think like being in keybr is probably like an environmental trigger for me. And so just in a different context, I find it very, very, like, I think much harder to find the keys, which is quite interesting. So I definitely think kind of improvement going forward will look like, I mean, first of all, just getting my typing speed higher with keybr. I really enjoy practicing with it. And I think it's quite good at teaching you the duplets, whatever it's called, like the two keys that you hit right after each other a lot. Once I can hit like probably about 50, 60 words per minute here, I'll start trying to do like other training stuff. But I really do like that it tracks your kind of time spent and stats and that kind of thing. Damn it, Bing. Okay, so that's it for our 17-minute check-in. Cool.